All right, John, could you hurry up and spell where the detonators are? These robbers are starving here. Otherwise, they would give the hostages a welcome party, and John is fully aware of this fact. Subtitles. Alice finds himself walking on a tightrope, with Hans threatening him to hand over the detonators, or else his friends will be sent off. Alice undergoes a public processing. Hans tells John if he doesn't disclose the detonator's location, he'll start the elimination round via intercom. The chief locates Hans, who declares him a terrorist. U.S. government, come redeem me. Subtitles. Just release my little buddies, and these hostages will be transported to the rooftop of the building, flying together with them to Los Angeles International Airport. After landing, they'll instruct police next steps. The chief calls it the robber's wish list. The subtitles. The federal agents have arrived, yet they show absolutely no interest in the chief. Hans' plan is still dancing along effortlessly. Due to insufficient staff, he had to fetch detonators himself and bumped into John. This boss is sly, pretending to be innocent as an employee. Hans' voice changed so much John didn't recognize him. After realizing John isn't one of the goons, Hans lets his guard down just a bit. John is feeling generous because he's in the same boat as this fellow tragic hero. Subtitles. He hands out a pistol, hinting at an impending big showdown, but John has already made preparations after he leaves. Hans' accent is quite impressive, but alas, that gun's just a prop. Just then, his goons rush in, and John hasn't even gotten to Hans yet. Surrounded by three, he makes a tiger-like move before fighting, taking down another thug. Hans is clever. Hans' orders called to smash the glass. Cause John still hasn't found the right shoes. He's really having a tough time. Somehow, John pulls a disappearing act and actually finds the detonators. Planning seems to be right on track. Reporters are shameless, digging up John's info and stalking his kids in Chicago. Meanwhile, John has a shot stuck in his foot and is in a hurry, rushing to find a restroom to pull the glass out of his flesh. Chubby tells him it's not the LAPD in charge, but the FBI ruling the world. They finally crack the seventh code, the vault swings open, and the holiday music plays. Surprise for the robbers. This is their target, bonds worth $640 million. Turns out the FBI is not what they expected. Subtitles. Turns out these guys had eaten some dummy candy, and Hans called the agent. The agent says the state arranged your buddy's release, and a helicopter's coming. After hanging up, Hans plans to ignite the rooftop upon agent's arrival for a fireworks show. By the time they realize, they're already part of the fire show. John senses trouble and asks Chubby a favor. John has no choice but to go up and take a look for himself, and as expected, there's actually a pile of C4 bombs placed on the top of the building. Right as he is telling Chubby, Carl suddenly pops up in front of him. Being the pro he is, Carl pauses for some small talk, and then it's on. Meanwhile, the reporters storm into John's house, threatening the babysitter and setting up a live broadcast. Hans sees John's daughter on the TV, and she looks strangely familiar. Flipping through photos, he realizes that the guy he's been butting heads with is actually the husband of the hostage. What a sneak, but he's still got the upper hand, leading all the hostages to the roof, leaving only Chubby behind. Hans goes for a personal showdown with John, while the agents board helicopters to take out the terrorists. They disguise as a transport helicopter, but Hans knows they are there to make a move. Hans notifies John, "Hey, before you go, let me teach you a lesson," but nobody's picking up. After the entire performance, Chubby realizes that this is a trap and he has to pull everyone away from it. In the showdown between John and Carl, it's not hard to guess who's gonna have the last laugh. It's John. The agents feel cocky, then hit trouble, lose face skin, and John flies to the rooftop. He finds wife gone, yells trap. Back downstairs. The rooftop's exploding. But in the sky, the cops are coming to save the day. They are in a tight spot. The helicopter zeroes in on John and takes the shop. Oh no, they've got to bring him in. This little rascal is too slippery. John whips out a fire extinguisher, jumps off, and while the bomb goes off, he soars midair, unable to shatter glass, only able to start shooting his way back into the building. But then disaster strikes. The other end of the equipment nearly cost him his life, and the hostages have already evacuated. The self-important agents meet their fiery fate. It's a perfect Friday for John. Now that's a wrap. Time for a breather in the basement parking lot. Chubby driver rolls out an ambulance sounds getaway plan, but his hired driver spots it. Finally, John meets them again, alone against two, with his wife held hostage. Odds are against him. All in all, Hans' plan is flawless. John reluctantly puts down his gun, admitting Hans wins this round. But just as Hans revels in victory, John bursts into laughter, hinting he's got a little trick up his sleeve.